This is Addison. She fell in love with Saad.
We just kind of became friends. We started hanging out. After some time, we developed feelings for each other.
But before tying the knot, Addison made a big decision.
I converted to Islam after meeting my husband Saad.
And since converting, the couple have been subjected to cruel comments.
In Islam, women are just about slaves. What are you talking about? People will say that he forced me, that I'm brainwashed.
Today, Addison's mum opens up about how she truly felt.
I thought the hijabs were a form of oppression.
Hi, I'm Addison.
Hi, I'm Saad.
We've been married for about 3.5 years. So today I'm going to be making dal chawal, which is one of my favorites. We eat it all the time in India. Dal means lentils and chawal means rice. Saad and I met about almost 6 years ago. When we were living in New York City, we moved into a shared apartment and we also went to the same university. We just kind of became friends. We started hanging out. After some time, we developed feelings for each other. We were dating for a while.
After 1.5 years.
Then we got married. So before I met Saad, I definitely was not religious at all, but I was very spiritual. I did not like mainstream religions. He was the first Muslim that I had ever met, and he's the first person who ever really introduced me to Islam. Before meeting Saad, I would definitely say that I had misconceptions about Islam, especially like Muslim men and how the religion treated women. Saad is always really helpful in the kitchen. I'm definitely the cook. He's a big help. He always like cuts all the vegetables and preps everything, and then he usually does the cleaning after cooking. So we make a good team. I started considering converting to Islam when we had started talking about marriage. He said that he would stay with me regardless if I converted or not, but I just started learning about it because we were spending a lot of time together. I had a lot of doubts at first. I was researching a lot of things on the internet and I would find like really horrible things, so I'd like go talk to him and like, dude, like, how can you even follow something like this? This is so messed up.
I gave her all the answers. She felt comfortable, all the questions she had, she got the answers, and that made sense to her every time.
Put the green chili in the pot, but then just put the garlic on the side. Yeah, that's perfect.
I have never seen my dad, my uncle, my extended families treating their wives bad. And when I came to America, I actually saw men treating women not the way they should be treated. So then I compared those things and I saw like, dude, why people say bad things about Islam?
A lot of people think that Islam is a very male-dominating religion, that the women in Islam are oppressed, they're treated like slaves, that they're just treated horribly, that they're forced to cover themselves, which I don't want to dismiss that because in many of the cases, in certain countries and stuff, that is the case for many women and that's horrible and tragic, but that's not the true teachings of Islam. That's people using the religion to like manipulate and control women. Now, all we have to do is wait for the pressure cooker to whistle. So today we're gonna go to one of my favorite hijab stores and pick out a new hijab for myself. Hello. Dressing modestly, it's not like something I did only because I'm following Islam. Like before I started following Islam, I had already started kind of understanding how modesty can be empowering for women. Since I was already doing it, it's not like hard for me to do it in terms of Islam because I feel like I'm not just doing it because I'm Muslim.
I think she looks beautiful either way, but I think hijab makes her more beautiful.
As someone who is against women dressing modestly, I would just say that what a woman wears is really just none of your concern. Whether a woman chooses to cover her body or whether or not she chooses to uncover her body, the whole entire point is that a woman's body is her choice. Okay, thank you. Bye. I started social media in the year of 2020 when COVID happened. I wanted to start sharing my story because when I was new to Islam, learning other people's stories and hearing their experiences online through like their social media helped me a lot. So I wanted to kind of do the same thing and maybe share my story and it could help other people. I have received a lot of positive comments and then I also receive a lot of awful comments. So this person's saying, in Islam, women are just about slaves. What are you talking about? This person's like, oh, what a load of BS. Cyrus the Great gave rights to women than Islam nearly did 1,000 years later. Here this person saying, I'm a Muslim, and what she's saying is untrue. A lot of times, like, Muslim men will not be happy about the fact that I'm sharing Islamic rights of women in Islam. So a lot of times, even Muslim men, even though they're Muslim themselves, they'll be like, that's not true, women don't have rights in Islam. Things like that, they're super upset. People will say that he forced me, that I'm brainwashed, I'm a stupid woman. People will comment that a lot. Mostly men. It's always men, actually. Women never really comment these things. I made a video on Islamic rights for women, and then people comment things like being sarcastic. And she has the right to share her husband with 3 other wives. We will be talking with my uncle and my mom about their thoughts of me converting to Islam. I know before they might have had some concerns. Uncle Rigo, what were your first thoughts when you first heard that I was converting to Islam?
I think my reaction was, I was obviously intrigued. I was like really shocked. I was surprised. It seemed like a really big jump. Mm-hmm. In Islam, like, homosexuality really isn't it's not a very accepted thing. I would say, if you talk to the average person in the average place, it's not.
Right.
I also was unsure of how
my views on it would be after I converted.
But Saad's family and like Saad are pretty chill, awesome people.
Yeah, they're very open-minded, open hearts. They're just very loving and accepting of everyone, so.
All right. Well, take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you guys.
My name is Diane. I'm Addison's mom and Saad's mother-in-law. So when she told me she was dating Saad, who she informed me was Muslim, I had very, very limited, if any, exposure to Islam or Muslims. And so, however I felt was really influenced primarily by the media, movies.
Did you have any concerns about Saad and I's relationship, or when you first heard that I was converting to Islam?
One of my big concerns was that Saad was from India, and would that mean if you grew attached to him or got married, would you leave the country? Mm-hmm. And then compound that with my ignorance about Islam. Like you had said, I believed Islam to be an oppressive religion.
Yeah.
And I thought the hijabs were a form of oppression.
Same.
I had no idea it was the woman's choice to wear those out of modesty.
Yeah.
So everything that I thought about Islam was that, the women were oppressed. They had no autonomy, no independence. Yeah. Thoughts on Islam changed after I met Saad, because he's so loving, forgiving, tolerant, and that's a representation of his religion. So now, you being Muslim is a non-issue for me. Islam to me is just part of who you are. Being Muslim is just part of who you are.
Yeah.
I can't separate Addison from Islam or being Muslim now.
Yeah.
Just as much as your hair is brown or your eyes are brown, you're a Muslim. You're a wonderful person, and that hasn't changed. I'm gonna head out.
All right.
Good to see you guys.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
I think today went really well. It was definitely fun to hear the perspective from my mom and my uncle and hear how they felt about me converting to Islam and our marriage. And you shouldn't judge people based on things like their race, their religion, anything like that. You should just never judge people before you know them.
I think love is completely sacrifice, how much you can sacrifice for the other person and how much you can understand the other person.
Understanding where they're coming from, where their feelings are coming from. And I also think love is a lot about putting down your ego. Loving them not only when things are good, but when things are also really difficult. And staying by their side regardless of the situation.